Hello and welcome to today's video. I am so happy you're here. This has been highly requested video of me, and today we are going to talk about the instruments I own, the instruments I use in my day-to-day practice, the brand that I purchase from, and just overall the tools that I use in the services and the sound baths I provide. And hopefully that will then help you to make your own decisions when purchasing the instrument or your own collection of instruments for different sound baths. We'll begin by the very first instrument that I purchased on my own, because the very first instrument I've ever owned was a singing bowl that was gifted to me by my amazing partner. However, I don't use that singing bowl in the sound baths I provide anymore. I just moved on to better quality and different brand. That singing bowl is still very dear to my heart, and it always will be, because it's my first and it was gifted to me. But the very first singing bowl that I purchased on my own was actually this specific singing bowl. This singing bowl is by brand Sonic Energy, and it's from their collection Energy. This collection of therapeutic singing bowls. I do own meditation singing bowls as well, which I will get to in a minute. The difference between these is the fact that the therapeutic singing bowls are mainly tuned to one tone. However, they can shift in between another 2 or 3 depending on the person or the space they're working with. So that's why they're therapeutic. This one I purchased during my first singing bowl course from my teacher. They're incredible. Basically, most of the instruments you can see here are Maynor, and they're amazing brand. They have amazing quality. This one I purchased just because I got to have a personal experience with it during the course, and it just, when I used it, something clicked. Yeah, it did really have a therapeutic effect on me, and that's why I just decided I have to leave the course with her, and this has to be the one that I take. I'm very happy that I did, because it's still my favourite. So as I said, it's from Collection Energy, and this one is actually size 1000, I think. This one is 1400. This was my very first one. I still use it during every single sound bath that I provide, whether individual, online, or in group sessions, and I still heavily use it in my own practice. It's still one of my favorites. I will also play it just for you to get a taste of it, and you can hear the sound a bit better. Yeah, I love it. So that leads me to talking about this precise collection, Energy collection, because from the same collection I have another singing bowls. They're all of them are therapeutic. This one is size 700 and this size is 1400. So all of these 3 singing bowls are therapeutic, and whenever I have individual sessions or in my own practice, I also place them on the body if the circumstance allows it and it's safe for the person. These are used and can be used on the body as well. The collection sounds heavenly together. I can also play that for you to hear a little better. When it comes to Himalayan singing bowls, I own 2 meditation bowls. These 2 meditation bowls are attuned to one specific tone. This one is size 600, this one is 500. So 600 and 500 are very beautiful, very high tone. Collection Energy, then I have the Universal Collection, and one little singing bowl, which is very practical because it has a little string attached to it as well. which adds a beautiful dimension to the sound when you're using it in the practice. This one is Cosmos Collection from Maynor Sonic Energy as well, the smallest size. And this one is amazing when working with the sound and the sense of sound in a space, since you can move it around and the different movements add dimension to the sound that you can hear. It's beautiful, I love it, very practical, very smart. I will just add also when it comes to Himalayan singing bowls or singing bowls in general, the sound also depends on the mallet that you own. So when it comes to Himalayan singing bowls, I own a few different ones that I love, and each one just adds a completely different sound to the bowl when you strike it. The one I use the most is this one. It's amazing. You can control the intensity of the sound. You have to be quite careful with this one not to overdo it and do it too strongly. However, it's amazing when you want to increase the vibration and you want to play with the sound a little more. But then we have these three smaller ones for smaller singing bowls, and it has different ends to it. So this one will make a different sound than this one for the bigger ones. So yeah, mallets do make a big difference, so I would definitely look into that as well. But to begin with, this one is plenty for you, and you can do a lot with that one. Now move on to crystal singing bowls. I personally went for Solfeggio Collection from Maynor once again. I went for 963 Hz one and 852 Hz one. With solfeggio frequencies, the principle of it is that each frequency represents something different. So the 963 1/2 solfeggio frequency is also called frequency of gods or pure frequency, which is often used in meditations and sound baths to activate pineal gland, promote the feeling of oneness and connection to higher self or higher consciousness. An 852 Hz solfeggio frequency is associated with awakening intuition, getting rid of fear or negative energy, and promoting or connecting to our spirituality. I love these two, but as my practice evolves, I personally go for bigger and more deep tones, but they're incredible. I love to use them in online group sessions or individual sessions as well. When I first got into sound healing, I thought I would get a whole collection of the crystal singing bowls alone. However, when I got to learn more about the Himalayan singing bowls and the therapeutic power of them, I completely fell for them, and I couldn't then ignore that. Kind of invested more into that relationship rather than the crystal singing bowls. I usually use them just right after I use the Koshi chimes when I provide in-person sessions, just because the intensity of these, I just like to personally include them at the beginning, so then I can work with the rest of the instruments to help people gradually come back from that high that they can provide. That leads me to the next instrument, which is one of the newest ones in my collection, and it's the float chime. It's highly requested, highly loved, everyone loves it, and I personally think this, or imagine this is what heaven sounds like. It's really beautiful, angelic energy. Again, it comes with a mallet, which you use to play it. And by moving it around, it adds a beautiful dimension to the sound. When it comes to my in-person sessions, the crystal singing bowls are followed by float chimes, just because they provide the same or very similar sense of something higher and heavenly. It's a beautiful addition, and I highly recommend getting it. This one is also by Maynor Sonic Energy. It's with a bag. It's really easy to carry as well. Then I would move on to Koshi chimes. I think everyone knows Koshi chimes, even though I don't really use them in my online sessions, just because it's really hard to capture the beautiful sound they have on a video through these mics. These go-to chimes come in 4 different elements. So it's earth, water, fire and air. I personally own 2 of them, and this one is earth and this one is water. Water has been gifted to me as well by my incredible colleagues when I was leaving my job, so they beautifully supported my transition onto this different journey that I then embarked on. Love them. They're one of the favourite instruments for everyone that attends sound baths. I swear by them, and I use them at the beginning and also at the end of each session, just because I know that it's a beautiful way to ease into the session for the people who even might come for the first time and don't know what to expect. They're amazing when it comes to relaxation and getting the person to the right place to be prepared for what's to come from there. And they're amazing at the end of the session, just to close everything up and provide that space at the end of the session to reflect. I highly recommend once again. From there, I would like to move on to the earth side of the sound that I use in my practice and my sessions that I provide. I personally own ocean drum, this rain disc as well, and then a few different shakers. So we'll start by the smallest one, which is also newest addition to my collection, and this particular one is amazing, easy to travel with as well. That's why I really love it. It reminds of a water stream. It's very gentle, but it depends on the way you play it as well. So it's really nice. It's one of the first earth sounds that I use during the sessions, right after the singing bowls. I do love to use the sound once I'm ready to close the singing bowls up. I'm slightly mixing in the sound of the earth so that the transition is much smoother. It's very gentle, so that's why I just love to begin with that one when it comes to grounding people back into their bodies after the crystal singing bowls and the flow chimes and the singing bowls. It's really important to then ground the person back into their body. That's why we use earth elements and earth sounds. So this one is a canary shaker, I hope I pronounce it right. It's canary shaker, and it just reminds of the beautiful sound of a stream. Really easy to play as well. You just play around with it with your fingers or shaking it. Very easy to use. From there, I move on to this rain disc. This one is actually not by Maynor. It's by a company called Nazar, I think. I got it for a photo shoot. It's beautiful. Again, there are different sounds. There are mixing in there. I think it's a mixture of water stream, but it can also resemble the sound of rain or waterfall. It's really beautiful. It can be played I will probably stop now. It can be played very gently, but also very powerfully. So it's just very up to you what you decide for and what's right in the circumstances. And the last instrument is ocean drum. This ocean drum was the first earth sound instruments that I purchased. I got carried away with this one a little bit, I will be honest. It depends on where you use the instruments in, depends on the place, depends on the room. Since I provide sound healing in quite small places, it can be quite intense since this is the biggest one they offer. This one is Maynor Sonic Energy as well. People say it reminds them of a heavy rainstorm or sound of the ocean, just understandable. It's quite versatile. I've seen a lot of people use the back of it as a drum as well, or use it when they use their voice in that practice as well, and just use the echo of a drum. If you play it for long enough, and the people who listen to do need some grounding in their life, they do enjoy it a lot, and it's easy for them to drop out of their mind into their bodies. So to sum it up, when it comes to your own practice or wherever you go to sound bath, it's very important after all of these high frequency instruments to use some sense of grounding and some earth sounds that can help the person get back into their body from whatever they've experienced. Okay, I hope this will help you make better decisions with more clarity if sound healing is something you want to explore further. At the end of the day, I do believe that you get what you pay for. So I wouldn't hold back. I know it's a big investment, but at the same time, quality in this sense is very important. Something else that's important is the intention that you're doing it with, and that's something you already have. Definitely use it and use it wisely. So thank you for joining me. If you would like to experience the power of sound, there are some of the sound baths that I provide on my YouTube channel that you can go and check out. And that is for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helped you find more clarity on this topic, and I will hope to see you in the next video. Take care.